The chill of my former marriage lingered like a forgotten frost, leaving me to seek warmth in the arms of a younger man. Luke, with his honeyed words and tender gestures, became my sanctuary. A stark contrast to the icy detachment I had once known. He was the very picture of devotion, so perfectly attuned to my needs that I let myself believe in this newfound solace. One evening, he asked me to collect him from a gathering with his companions. As I approached the private room, a sliver of light from the slightly ajar door betrayed the conversation within. My hand hovered, poised to knock, when a mocking tone sliced through the air. "Luke, how much longer will you string along your ex-sister-in-law? Until boredom claims you?" I stood paralyzed, my breath catching in my throat. Then came his voice, languid and dripping with indifference. "It's just tolerable." Peering through the gap, I saw him draped across a sofa. One leg casually crossed over the other, he swirled a glass of wine with an absent grace before tipping his head back to drain it in one swift, careless motion. Another voice prodded, "Then why not end it? Surely playing the sweet, doting lover day in and day out wears on you." He set the glass down with a sharp click. "I'll call it off when I've had my fill." A cold clarity washed over me. I drew a steadying breath, turned on my heel, and descended the stairs without a sound. Seated in the driver's seat of my car, I retrieved my phone, my fingers moving with a mechanical calm. "I'm here, come out." His reply was immediate. A swift and seamless lie. "Wait for me, I'll be right there." A moment later, a figure sprinted towards me. Luke was still Luke, but he had shed his earlier cynical demeanor, replaced by a gentle, affectionate expression. He smiled as he got into the car, fastened his seatbelt, and looked at Luna tenderly. "Luna, have you been waiting long?" "No. I just got here, but you don't look happy. Is something bothering you?" I turned to look at him. If I hadn't known he was faking it, I would have been completely fooled by his concerned expression. "Yeah, some issues at work." "Oh." Despite my dismissive reply, he, though looking disappointed, was sensible enough not to press further. His current demeanor was a world away from how he'd been in the bar just moments ago. For a split second, I felt a flicker of disorientation, as if seeing him in the bar had been nothing more than an illusion. He suddenly remembered something, looking up at Luna sharply. "Luna, can you wait a few minutes for me?" he asked cautiously. After I nodded, he immediately pulled open the car door and ran out. While waiting for him, I hesitated, then pulled out my phone and sent Marcus a message. "You once mentioned you have a younger brother. What's his name?" I waited for a long time without a reply. Just when I thought he wouldn't bother, my phone screen lit up. "Luke, what's wrong?" I was about to reply when the car door suddenly opened. I quickly put my phone away. It was Luke who opened the door, one hand hidden behind his back. After getting in, he smiled and handed me a delicate cupcake. It was my favorite cherry flavor. He said gently, "They say eating something sweet makes you feel better when you're down. Want to try it?" I was Marcus' chosen candidate for an arranged marriage, but from my humble background, I wasn't even considered worthy of the Hay family. He chose me simply because I was easy to control. So even after we got together, he never gave me a chance to get to know his family. Knowing he had a brother was purely by chance. A trust fund kid who only knew how to party and splurge had once given Marcus a huge headache. Yet this very same rebellious person was now sitting next to me, looking gentle and well behaved. He was quite the actor. He even fooled me. How interesting. While waiting at a traffic light, I suddenly commanded, "Kiss me." Luke froze for a second, his Adam's apple bobbing, and his gaze at me deepened. Without needing me to repeat myself, he leaned in, cooped the back of my head, and kissed me. He gave me a passionate, lingering kiss. Though he played the part well, and life, his primal desire and possessiveness in bed didn't seem like an act. Just as we were caught up in the moment, the car next to us suddenly humped before I could react. The horn blared again. Annoyed, I rolled down the window and looked out. A familiar face met my eyes. Marcus. I felt a strange pang of nervousness, then remembered we were long divorced, and he had no say over me anymore. Mr. Marcus' expression was displeased, and he said sarcastically, "That eager, huh? Can't even wait for a red light." I smiled dismissively. "Mr. Marcus, please excuse us young people, can be a bit impulsive." Marcus' face darkened instantly. He leaned forward, trying to see who was in my passenger seat. I instinctively leaned forward, blocking his view just as the traffic light turned green. "Green light, I'll get going with that." I didn't linger, started the car, and drove off. I glanced at Luke. He had been quiet the whole time, now facing the window, lost in thought. I suddenly wondered what Marcus would do if he just realized his own brother was the one I was passionately kissing. This whole situation was getting increasingly interesting. I felt a surge of anticipation the moment we entered. Before I even had a chance to change my shoes, Luke pressed me against the wall this time. His gentleness was gone. He kissed me with urgency. You still like him? Who? Your ex-husband? No. His hot breath caressed my ear as he lightly bit my earlobe. I don't like him either, not to be outdone. I nipped at his Adam's apple. He suddenly lifted me. With one arm I gasped, instinctively wrapping my arms around his neck. He smiled contentedly, a flicker of triumph in his eyes. Watching his reaction, I suddenly recalled what his friend had asked him earlier today. What's it like to get with your ex-sister-in-law? His answer had been, it's just okay, but I was different getting with my ex-brother. I felt great, very great inside and out. Marcus was certainly powerful in bed, but he was accustomed to being dominant in such matters. He only cared about his own satisfaction. As for my feelings, he simply didn't care, but was different. He knew how to please me, satisfying me deeply and pleasurably. That pleasure peaked when I learned his true identity, just as he finished the preparations and was about to proceed. The doorbell rang, his voice husky. He murmured, ignore it. Then my phone rang. Be good, just a moment. I kissed him reassuringly. I picked up the phone and answered. Open the door. It was Marcus. I'm not home is lying to me. Amusing? Open the door. It's not convenient. He paused. Did you bring that man home? Marcus, we're divorced. Who I bring home is none of your business. Then let's remarry. After he said that, we both froze, neither speaking. Finally, I spoke first. It's late. You should go home first. Open the door. Is this fun for you? He choked, then gritted his teeth. Luna, you're really something. You're getting bolder and bolder. After he spoke, he seemed to remember something and suddenly scoffed. I almost forgot. You've always been bold. Otherwise, you wouldn't have dared to kiss me that night, fueled by alcohol, and then feign madness to propose to me. I didn't even realize the phone call had ended. His words sent me spiraling into a whirlpool of memories. Marcus was my senior. I fell for him at first sight, hopelessly and irrevocably. He was so dazzling that my liking him felt perfectly natural, but I never imagined I would one day marry him. After marriage, I tried my best to be a good wife, doing everything I could to please him, hoping to move him, to make him accept me, even love me. It wasn't until Serena appeared that I realized how foolish and naive I had been. Luna. Luke suddenly hugged me from behind. I snapped back to reality. I was suddenly curious if Luke knew Marcus married me not because he loved me, but because of another woman. Would he immediately dumped me and then pretend to be gentle and well behaved to deceive Serena? The thought amused me, and I couldn't help but laugh. I gently pried Luke's hands off, touched his face, and said, Luna is tired today. Let's continue another time with that. I walked into the bathroom without looking back, so much so that I didn't notice Luke behind me, staring blankly at my retreating figure, just as I was about to fall asleep. I was jolted awake by a notification sound from a phone. Liam, Luke, hurry up, we're just waiting for you. Followed by a location for a bar. Liam, Luke, you'll regret it if you don't come tonight. There's a new pretty girl at the bar, totally your type. It was only after reading the messages that I realized it wasn't my phone. I waited for a bit, but the other person didn't send a picture of the pretty girl. What a shame. Just then, the sound of water stopped in the bathroom, and I quickly put the phone back in its place. A moment later, Luke emerged, perhaps to avoid disturbing me. He walked exceptionally carefully. He picked up his phone, looked at it for a moment, then tapped a few times and grabbed his jacket from beside him. Groggy, I pretended to have just woken up. Still leaving even at this hour? Professor has an urgent matter. I need to go back to the university. He lied to me. Without batting an eye, I didn't expose him. I just thought it was a pity he wasn't an actor. Then be safe. After left, I immediately climbed out of bed, grabbing my car keys. I followed him for no other reason than pure curiosity. I wanted to see what this boy, who usually acted so gentle and well behaved around me, was really like. After all, the first time I met Luke was at a hospital. I had just undergone kidney stone surgery and was unable to move easily, so I desperately needed a caregiver. I had originally wanted a female caregiver, but the doctor told me there were no female caregivers available at the moment. Only male ones are. Reluctantly, I said I'd meet one first to see. I expected a middle-aged man, but it turned out to be a young guy. I was hesitant. He was too young, and I felt he wouldn't be reliable. But the boy was unusually eager. Luna, don't worry, I'll take good care of you. I have experience. I've been taking care of my mom since high school. At that moment, my heart softened when I was in My last year of high school, the other woman showed up at our door, demanding my mother divorce my father, my mother. For my sake, threatened suicide, wanting my father to break things off with that woman, but my father and the woman were deeply involved and completely disregarded my mother. My father drove my mother to madness. She developed depression, attempted suicide by jumping from a building, survived, but became a vegetable. That woman brazenly moved in and became my stepmother later. If it hadn't been for Marcus' help, I believe my stepmother might have long ago framed me and kicked me out of the house, so I kept him on. Luke was true to his word. Taking meticulous care of me, he stayed by my side 24 hours a day, unlike other caregivers who would run off the moment they had free time. Crucially, he also provided emotional support when I was upset or bothered. He would always notice immediately and try every possible way to cheer me up. Because I had surgery, I had to eat bland food, which was tough for someone like me who loves strong flavors. Luke, seeing I had lost my appetite, even cooked delicious food for me himself. Even though it didn't look very appetizing, it tasted genuinely good and felt like home. He was gentle, well-behaved, meticulous, and thoughtful, flawless. The nurses nearby even thought he was my boyfriend. For a while later, we naturally became a couple, although he bore a slight resemblance to Marcus. One was named Hayes, the other Luke, one incredibly wealthy, the other working his way through university. This made me never suspect him. Who would have thought that a trust fund kid who once gave Marcus such headaches could pretend to be so sweet and vulnerable? His acting was so good the Academy owed him an Oscar statue. Although I didn't frequent bars, I knew a lot about them previously. When Marcus couldn't drive after drinking, he would always call me to pick him up. He would be semi-drunk and incredibly clingy, wrapping himself around me in that spacious luxury SUV and engaging in wild activities. The sound of the navigation system pulled me out of the whirlpool of memories. I walked into the bar, found Luke's private room by memory, when suddenly a hand grabbed me. My heart leaped into my throat, looking for me, recognizing. I breathed a sigh of relief. He raised an eyebrow. Just now you stubbornly refused to open the door, and now you're chasing me here, playing hard to get. Seeing how self-absorbed he was, I smiled helplessly. I'm here to find my boyfriend. As I was about to leave, he abruptly yanked me into a bathroom stall. Marcus, speak a little louder, then everyone will know what we're doing in the bathroom. I glared at him. He suddenly leaned in, his thumb roughly wiping my lips, testing me little by little. Today, did he kiss you here or here? None of your business. Let go of me. He chuckled at that. Huh? Your temper's gotten bolder. You even dare to yell at me now. Then his face instantly turned cold and he ordered, break up with him. Why should I? Gracie, don't try to challenge my limits. He gripped my neck, tilting my chin up. You know, agreeing to the divorce wasn't my will. I did it to appease you. That doesn't mean you can escape my control. It's also my fault for giving you too much freedom this past year, making you forget whose woman you are. Marcus was still the same, domineering, arrogant, and unreasonable. I knew that if he wanted to, I wouldn't be able to stay in this city for another second. But why? He was clearly the one who made the mistake. He was the first to betray our marriage. My eyes reined, filled with indignation. You already have Serena. Can't you just let me go? Hearing that name, he frowned. I've explained it to you many times. There's nothing between her and me. Marcus, stop trying to fool me like I'm an idiot. Photos of you two kissing went viral on the trending topics. It was just a kiss. Do you have to make such a big deal out of it? I laughed, exasperated. It's truly exhausting trying to reason with a jerk. I didn't want to get tangled up with him any longer, so I forcefully struggled out of his grip. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from outside. Marcus, what's taking you so long? I froze completely. It was Luke. Marcus suddenly let go of me, about to push the door open, but I abruptly pulled him back. His eyes flickered, and he gave me a meaningful look, then cooperatively stopped moving. Something wrong? I need to go back. Have your driver take me so early? Marcus finished his phone call to the driver, and only then did Luke leave. Before leaving, Luke deliberately whistled and teased Marcus, take it easy. I suddenly felt my face flush. I let go of Marcus, only to accidentally meet his scrutinizing gaze. Do you know Luke? No. Then why didn't you let me go? Out. I glared at him indignantly. Hiding here, just a man and a woman. You might have no shame. But I do. I pushed Marcus, who was blocking the doorway, and before he could react, I quickly ran off. It was only after I pressed the accelerator that I belatedly realized there was no need to rush back so urgently, since was having Marcus "Driver, take him." He surely wouldn't dare ask the driver to take him back to my place. I slowed down while waiting at a traffic light. An inadvertent glance showed Serena's haughty face plastered all over a massive electronic screen. I suddenly remembered her scornful words to me, "If it weren't for Marcus. Someone like you wouldn't even have the right to stand before me." At the time, I didn't take her seriously. Oh, really? Yet he chose to marry someone like me. Not you. But later, when paparazzi caught Marcus and her kissing, and the video went viral on trending topics, blessed by netizens nationwide, my heart felt like a piece had been brutally ripped out. I broke down crying, asking him to issue a statement and explain to the public, but he impatiently said, "Gracie, that's enough. Stop making a scene." In that instant, I suddenly understood. Though he married me, he didn't care about me at all. Serena was his childhood sweetheart, his younger sister, and an A-list celebrity he'd spent a fortune to make famous, and I was merely a wife he kept at home. Even after getting married, I didn't even know his brother's name, let alone recognized him. It wasn't that I wasn't invested. Marcus had simply never given me a chance to get to know him. Perhaps to him, I was just a tool to satisfy his desires. From our Cold War to the divorce, Marcus never once thought he was in the wrong, merely seeing my actions as baseless theatrics. I regretted it. I shouldn't have fallen in love with him, and I certainly shouldn't have married him. As soon as I parked the car, I received a message from Luke. It was a selfie with half his face covered by a blanket. Finally in bed, I played along. "Just finished with work? Yeah. Professor is such a pain, always treating me like free labor." Immediately after, he sent another photo of himself in bed along with a husky voice message, "Luna, I miss you." I laughed sarcastically. "Be patient, Gracie will take care of you." Another day. In the morning, I was woken by the sound of a door closing. Yawning, I walked out and met Luke's eyes as he stood there holding breakfast. "What are you doing here?" Luke lifted the bag in his hand and shook it. "Brought you breakfast." I glanced at it. It was from a very famous influencer recommended breakfast spot. "I heard you had to wait in line for a long time there. Why?" "Oh, you went to a lot of trouble." He kissed my forehead. "It's no trouble if Luna likes it." I felt flattered, feeling pleased. I went to the bathroom to get ready. While there, I checked my social media feed and saw that Serena had just updated her feed thanks to someone for personally delivering this lovely breakfast today. The accompanying picture showed a refined breakfast, but I keenly spotted a bag in the corner of the photo that was identical to the one Luke had just bought for me. What a coincidence. My earlier pleasant mood vanished instantly when I came out of the bathroom. Luke had already set the breakfast on the dining table. I froze. These items were identical to what Serena had posted on her social media feed. Noticing my change in demeanor, he gazed at me gently and asked, "What's wrong?" I shook my head. "Nothing." While I ate, he hesitated to speak several times. Finally, I prompted him, "Do you have something to tell me?" He looked apologetic. "Luna, I can't come to be with you this weekend." "What? Is Steven treating you like free labor again?" He sighed helplessly. "Yeah, Professor is giving a speech in Northwood this weekend, and he wants me to be his assistant." I thoughtfully offered, "Do you want me to come with you?" He avoided my gaze, saying guilty, "No, Luna, you finally have some time off. You should rest. Well, I can go by myself." I knew he was lying, but I didn't expose him. Instead, I suddenly felt a strange anticipation for how he would eventually reveal the truth to me. "Okay, then make sure you take good care of yourself." Seeing that I believed him, and after I gave him a lot of advice, Luke hugged me, visibly moved. Because he had a class that morning, he lingered with me for a bit before rushing off. A moment later, the doorbell rang. I thought Luke had forgotten something. "What did you forget?" MPH. Before I could react, my mouth was covered by a kiss. I harshly stomped on his foot, then abruptly pushed him away, wiping my mouth with the back of my hand in disgust. "Marcus, what are you doing acting crazy at my place this early in the morning?" Marcus's face was terrifyingly dark. "Who was that just now?" My heart sank, but I still feigned ignorance. "I don't know what you're talking about, Luna. How long do you plan to deceive me? If you already know, why are you still asking me? Do you know who he is?" Seeing him so angry, I suddenly laughed. I confirmed it with, "You a few days ago." "Yes, I know." Marcus raged as if he wanted to crush my shoulders. His eyes, "How dare you?" How interesting. This was the first time I'd seen him so out of control. I scoffed. "Mr. Marcus, aren't you asking the wrong person? He was the one who came after me first. Why don't you ask him how he dared? I was married to you for 5 years, yet you never once introduced me to your family otherwise, I wouldn't have failed to recognize your own brother seeing my chest heaving. He was the first to soften. He forcefully pulled me into a hug, his lips brushing my earlobe. I can forgive you. But you must break up with him. I'm quite satisfied with him. Why should I break up? Besides, what if he's your brother? You and I have nothing to do with each other anymore. His face was grim, a vein throbbing at his temple. He struggled to control his agitated emotions. Break up with him. He won't marry you, huh? Mr. Marcus, you underestimate me. I've already been in the grave of marriage. Once. Do you think I'd be foolish enough to enter it a second time? Then what exactly do you want? Or is this just about getting revenge on me? Huh, me, getting revenge on you. I poked his chest with my finger. Marcus, don't you think you're asking the wrong person? You should go ask your brother. Ask him why he went to such great lengths to approach me. What was it all for? I'd like to know that, too. Marcus looked at me with a complex gaze, then suddenly praised. You've gotten smarter. I glared at him. Remaining silent, he suddenly leaned in, cooped the back of my head, and kissed me. Once I reacted, I bit him mercilessly until I tasted blood, and he let go of me with a wheeze. He wiped the blood from his lip with his thumb, then suddenly smiled. Gracie, I regretted. I shouldn't have given you freedom, but don't worry, one day you'll willingly come back to me. After left, I swayed, nearly losing my balance. I expected Marcus to come after me soon, but surprisingly he hadn't appeared since that day, the day Luke left for Northwood. He sent me a message. Luna, I'm about to leave, along with a picture of his plane ticket. I replied with a cat cheering emoji. While scrolling through my social media feed before bed, I saw that Serena had also updated her status. First movie premiere. So nervous. The accompanying picture was also a plane ticket to Northwood. Same destination, same flight, even adjacent seats. Thinking of the identical breakfast from a few days ago, I suddenly understood they not only knew each other, but had a close relationship. Perhaps I was wrong from the start. Luke didn't approach me because of Marcus. It was because of Serena. Ultimately, the reason Serena and I clashed was Marcus. It was only after I got together with Marcus that I learned he had a childhood sweetheart named Serena. She was a somewhat famous celebrity. She would call Marcus every now and then and act coy with him. My first thought was that she liked Marcus. I got jealous and argued with Marcus about it, but dismissively said, if I really liked her, do you think you'd still be standing in front of me right now? Later, Marcus's father pressured him into an arranged marriage with Serena. In a fit of pique, Marcus simply went and got a marriage certificate with me. That marriage had nothing but a marriage certificate. The day we got our marriage certificate, Serena cried so much her eyes were swollen. When she finally left, she looked at me resentfully. Don't think Marcus married you because he loves you. He married you only to defy his father's control over him. Even though he married you, I'm the one he cares about most. I thought she was just trying to annoy me and didn't take it seriously at all. It wasn't until their kissing video was exposed and everyone assumed he was Serena's boyfriend. The entire internet was shipping them, saying they were a perfect match in both family background and looks. No matter how much I argued or made a scene, Marcus refused to issue a statement or explain, even using the buzz to boost Serena's career. In that moment, I suddenly woke up. I just didn't understand why Luke was approaching me in that love triangle. I was never the winner. Just when I was completely clueless, Marcus gave me the answer that day. He suddenly sent me several photos. There were pictures of Luke and Serena together. Don't you want to know why? Luke has liked Serena since childhood, but he knows Serena likes me, so he's always been trying to set us up. When he found out I got a marriage certificate with you, he was even more opposed than my own parents. Quite a melodramatic story. I stayed silent, waiting quietly for him to continue. He went to Northwood this time specifically to accompany Serena to her movie premiere, and the reason he approached you was to make sure you and I completely broke up so Serena would have a chance. TSK, what kind of devoted lover persona is this? Why are you telling me all this? Aren't you angry? Angry? Not really. After all, I didn't lose anything when he comes back. Break up with him, of course. If you don't want to see him, I'll talk to Luke for you. I wasn't pleased. Marcus, did I say I wanted to break up? And what does my breaking up have to do with you? Can you stop interfering in my life? Marcus choked. You know the truth and you still want to be with him? Why not? He doesn't even like you and he's using you. So what? You didn't like me either and you used me. But didn't I still marry you? He was silent for a long while before speaking. I've never liked Anyone else, that's none of my business. I accidentally fell asleep while taking a bath that night and was eventually woken by the cold. I had a very long dream. I hadn't even graduated from university when my stepmother started whispering in my father's ear, pressuring me into an arranged marriage if I didn't agree. They would cut off my mother's medical expenses. Desperate, I found Marcus, hoping he could help me, and promised I would repay him well in. He agreed without hesitation. He had my mother transferred to a hospital under Hayes and told me, "You just focus on your studies, don't worry about anything else, I'll handle it for you." To me, at that time, he was nothing short of an angel. Later, he found me and said it was time for me to repay him. I never dreamed that the repayment he spoke of would be for me to marry him. I thought fate had finally smiled upon me. But I wasn't happy. During our 5 years of marriage, my love for him faded completely. During the endless waiting of those 5 years, he would abandon me on my birthday to handle Serena's scandals, and he would leave me on our wedding anniversary to appear punctually at Serena's press conference. He transformed from my angel into a tormenting devil. The depth of my past love for him matched the intensity of my hatred. In the years that followed, I was trapped, unable to escape the myriad dreams of the past. In a daze, I thought I heard someone urgently calling my name. Gracie, Gracie. I jolted awake, only to see Marcus. "What are you doing here?" I realized belatedly that my voice was terribly hoarse. "I kept calling you, but you didn't answer." Worried something happened. "I went to your place. I didn't expect you to actually have a fever, seeing how high it was. I brought you to the hospital, so it was a fever. No wonder I'd been trapped in a nightmare. How did you get into my house?" "I had someone remove the door." Seeing I was awake, Marcus gave me some water and coaxed me to drink half a bowl of porridge. Watching him fuss over me, I suddenly found it deeply ironic, the kind of attention I never received in 5 years of marriage. I was now experiencing all at once. After our divorce, I froze when I inadvertently glimpsed the familiar cufflinks on his sleeve. It was the first gift I bought him after getting my first paycheck after graduation. Emptying all my savings for it, I had scoured the entire city to carefully select that pair of cufflinks for him. I thought he would like them, but one day, I overheard Serena asking him, "Marcus, didn't you buy a new pair of cufflinks when you took me shopping a few days ago? Why aren't you wearing those?" "These are from Gracie," Serena said disdainfully. "Those look cheap, they don't suit your taste at all." Marcus, looking helpless at the time, said, "It's a young girl's thoughtful gesture. I'm wearing them to humor her." I was quite upset when I heard that my feet had blistered from walking around to buy him those cufflinks. After that, I never bought him cufflinks again. Now he was wearing them again. Was it another attempt to humor me? The pity was I was no longer the same young girl whose heart and eyes were solely fixed on him. To prevent something like this from happening again, move back in with me after your discharge. No, he frowned. Because of Luke. Seeing my silence, he asked again. Or because of Serena? I said nothing. Protesting silently, he said irritably, "I've explained it to you so many times. What do I have to do for you to believe there's truly nothing between Serena and me?" I looked him straight in the eye. "It's simple. Blacklist her. That's easy enough for you, isn't it?" He rejected it without hesitation. "Impossible, not to mention the ties between our families and business dealings. The entertainment company Serena is with represent half of my assets," he said somewhat helplessly. Although I didn't issue a statement to clarify things back then, I did punish her. She didn't take on any roles for 6 months. She didn't take on any roles, but she was swamped with variety shows, so that was what he called punishment. I fell silent again. Marcus immediately became displeased. "I don't understand. What exactly did Serena do to you that you have so much animosity towards her?" My eyes suddenly welled up and I said, word for word, "She caused the death of my child." He looked terrified. How could that be? "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because when I wanted to tell you, the video of you and Serena kissing was exposed. Serena used those videos to find me and tell me to leave you during our argument. I accidentally lost the baby. Do you know how happy I was when I found out I was pregnant?" But I choked up, unable to speak. I took a while to compose myself, then took a deep breath. "If you don't believe me, you can check my hospital records." Marcus looked utterly devastated, his steps faltering as he left. Not long after Marcus left, I fell asleep again. When I opened my eyes again, I saw Luke, who was supposed to be in Northwood. "Why are you back?" Luke, seeing I was awake, seemed happy. "I saw your social media feed that you were in the hospital. I was worried, so I rushed back. Only then did I remember that I had been bored alone in the hospital, and casually posted a picture to my social media feed, but I never imagined he would rush back just for me if I wasn't mistaken. Serena's movie premiere was tonight. There's nothing to worry about. It's not a big deal. I can be discharged tonight after my 4 is done, he suddenly said. Seriously, you just don't take your health seriously enough. That's why you're always ending up in the hospital. But don't worry, I'll take good care of you just like last time you were in the hospital. Of course, I'm relieved with you here, but you see. Aim back. So suddenly did Professor agree to it? He was stumped by my question, and just then his phone rang. I instinctively glanced at the screen. Serena. He shot me a guilty look and immediately hung up. I pretended not to have seen clearly. Who was that? Why didn't you answer? He seemed to let out a sigh of relief. A scam call. The description was quite. That evening, after my drip was finished, Luke handled my discharge papers just then. Marcus messaged me, when are you getting discharged? I'll come pick you up. Don't bother, your brother is here. Luna. Don't provoke me. Do you think I'm afraid of him? If he's there, it just makes me want to go even more. Luke returned at that moment. It's all taken care of. Let's go. It wasn't until we were in the car that I remembered Marcus had broken down my door. I didn't know if he'd fixed it to be safe. I just made an excuse to stay at a hotel. Luke, understanding, didn't ask further questions on the way. My phone kept vibrating. I ignored it, but eventually I got so annoyed that I just sent him my hotel location. Don't bother me, I'm busy. After sending it, I immediately put him on my blocked list. As soon as we arrived at the hotel, Luke leaned in to kiss me. Marcus photos of him and Serena flashed unsolicited in my mind. I flinched, and his kiss landed on my cheek. Shoo, just a little longer. Luna just got over a fever. She needs more rest, although looked a bit down. He still nodded obediently with nothing to do. We suddenly fell into an awkward silence. I picked up my phone and started browsing short-form videos to pass the time when Luke suddenly stared fixedly at me. Something wrong? Luke nodded. Luna, I'm sorry. Before he could finish, a sudden phone call interrupted him. It was Marcus. This time he hung up, but the caller dialed again. This went on 3 times, and I was a bit speechless. Maybe you should answer. They might really need you. He looked at me for a low in time, and just as the caller was about to hang up, he reluctantly answered. Luke, let Luna answer the phone and stop pretending. Serena, and I already know. Hearing this, Luke suddenly looked up at me, his eyes filled with shock, panic, and finally a cautious gaze. His acting truly was good. If he went into entertainment, he'd be even more popular than Serena. Why aren't you replying to my messages or answering my phone calls? I just didn't want to. Hey, you're doing this on purpose, forcing me to find Luke, aren't you? Didn't you tell me to break up with him? He suddenly chuckled. Gracie, you've certainly gotten a lot smarter than before. You've even learned to play mind games with me. I'll be there soon. Tell that kid to wait for me. As soon as I hung up the phone, I met Luke's gaze. When did you find out? Not long ago. First, I found out you were Marcus's brother, and only later did I learn you approached me because of Serena. His face was filled with despondency, his gaze pained and distraught. I was actually just about to confess to you. Confess that you weren't a struggling student, but the young master of the Hay family. No. Let's get married, he blurted out. At his words, we both fell silent. He clutched at it like a drowning man grasping a lifeline. Yes, let's get married. I was a little surprised you'd give up your own marriage for Serena. You truly love her deeply, but what makes you think I'd marry you? No, it's not because of her, it's because I don't. Tell me you've fallen for me. His eyes suddenly welled up, and he nodded at me. It was truly absurd. I even thought he was a good actor. I didn't expect him to be genuinely expressing himself. You approached me because of Serena, and I divorced because of her in the first place. How could you possibly think I'd agree to marry you? Her nature isn't really bad. She's just been spoiled by her family. Bad is bad. No amount of explanation will change the tea. I know it takes 2 to tango. So I don't hate Serena for pursuing Marcus, but she absolutely should not have gone to my mother. My mother had just barely woken up and Serena killed her. Do you know that? My mother woke up just before Marcus and I were about to get our marriage certificate. Serena found out where my mother was hospitalized. As soon as she woke up, Serena told her I was the other woman, ruining her relationship with Marcus. My mother detested the other woman more than anything in her life, and now her beloved daughter was being called the other woman. She couldn't accept it. The rage overwhelmed her, and she passed away instantly. I took a deep breath, trying to compose myself, and demanded the surveillance video of Serena secretly kissing Marcus while he was drunk. You were the one who had it deleted, Weren't you? Luke's thin lips were pressed tightly together, you say. You like me, so you have to show me your sincerity, right? Give me the video and I'll believe you like me. Luke's eyes shifted, but he still remained silent. I suddenly added fuel to the fire. Forget it, just go. Marcus will be here any minute. Are you going to get back with him? It's none of your business. He hesitated for a long while before finally saying, I'll give it to you. I wasn't lying. I really did fall for you. I'm very happy when I'm with you. I want to pursue you again as a suitor. We can leave here, go somewhere without Marcus or Serena, and live our own lives. Luke had barely left when Marcus arrived right after I was so close to seeing them fight each other. Over me, you seem quite disappointed, don't you? You bet he just confessed his feelings for me and said he wanted to marry me. I was really looking forward to seeing you two brothers turn against each other for my sake. He froze for a moment. That's ridiculous. Did you turn him down? No, but I didn't accept either. He glared at me. Do you really think he'd dare him? You're my ex-wife. My parents would break his legs if they found out. I don't have to see his family, just like I never met yours. After we got together, his lips trembled. I'm sorry. He suddenly leaned closer, caressing my cheek. Gracie, let's remarry. I can give you everything you want. So he could have given me these things, but I didn't need them. Now will you agree? I want to study abroad. Have Stephen write me a recommendation letter. Marcus's face suddenly changed. You're not going? TSK, I thought you were truly sincere. If this is how it is, then let's just end it here. I have to go. I nodded. Marcus conceded. A step. You can go, but before you do, let's re-register our marriage. It seems you don't have much sincerity after all. I thought you'd pursue me again. He smiled helplessly. All right, I'll have him write it for you. I pressed my advantage. And what about Serena? He said sternly. I'll give you and our child an explanation. Not long after, I received a video from Luke showing the entire process of Serena secretly kissing Marcus. Back then, when I went to the hotel to find the original video for clarification, I was told it had been deleted. I questioned Marcus, asking if he was the one who deleted it. He said he hadn't. If it wasn't him, then it could only have been Luke, that overly devoted admirer. I immediately contacted the media and leaked the video. At the same time, I also released proof that Marcus had been married at the time. Serena was no longer who she once was. She was now a popular influencer. As soon as the video was exposed, it quickly topped the trending topics and exploded. The comment section was filled with condemnation, many times more intense than the initial blessings she had received. The incident happened suddenly, and it was all part of my plan. This time, Serena's company's public relations department had no time to react. As soon as Serena's damaging information came out, the hate RS stopped slacking off, surfaced, and started working. And Serena's rivals, just as I was enjoying the show. Marcus called me. Was that you? Did she come crying to you again? Do you want to protect her again? You don't trust me? Before I could reply, he hung up. Then I received a message from Luke. She contacted me, but I ignored her. I smiled silently. Good boy, well done. Can I come see you? No, I haven't forgiven you yet. The trending topic stayed up for a long time, with everyone demanding a response from Serena. Serena played dead for a whole day, but as the situation intensified, she was forced to come out and respond to everyone. I apologize for occupying public resources with my private matters. We truly were childhood sweethearts who grew up together, and he was single at the time. She also attached a 9-panel collage of photos of her and Marcus from childhood to adulthood. Then fans and various marketing accounts started to clear her name. Gradually, public opinion shifted, and the comment section once again filled with remarks like, she and her man make such a perfect couple. I expected her to clear her name, but not this quickly. Although I was very unwilling, it was mostly helplessness before I could be disheartened for too long. Marcus, who had never posted before, suddenly put out a statement. Hello everyone. I'm Marcus. I want to apologize to my wife here, because I was married when that photo was taken. I am now pursuing her again. She is a private citizen, and I hope everyone will respect her privacy and not disturb her. Within minutes, this post landed on the trending topics ahead of Serena's statement. It was a definite public contradiction. I actually couldn't quite believe it. I didn't expect him to speak up. While I was still stunned, Marcus messaged me, see, that's my sincerity. I knew Serena's fans would probably engage in an online fan war with Nissanens for a few days, so I used the interim to start preparing my documents for studying abroad. That day, I received a call from an unknown number. Before I could speak, the person on the other end said through gritted teeth, Luna, you're like a persistent ghost, TSK. I suppose the A-list celebrity didn't dial the wrong number, did she? To think she has time to call someone like me, I truly underestimated you. I never thought Luke would betray me because of you. Well, I guess I should thank you for sending him to me, otherwise, how would I have gotten the chance? She choked. You don't seriously think this one thing can ruin me, do you? Hardly. I know how powerful you are. This is just a reciprocal gift for you having Luke deliberately approach me. I have other this next one will truly ruin you. Quite a mouthful. Do you really think Marcus and Luke will always side with you and help you? Whether you believe it or not, I never counted on them. I had been waiting for this day for a very long time. I didn't expect them to help me. I just hoped they wouldn't interfere when I dealt with Serena. Ever since Serena caused my mother's death, I had been secretly investigating her. I believed that a woman as rotten to the core as her would eventually get what she deserved. I didn't know until I checked, and when I did, I was shocked. She was truly evil. From a young age, she bullied and humiliated classmates. Relying on her family background, this only escalated after she entered the entertainment industry. Anyone who offended her never had a good outcome. Therefore, her damaging information was easy to dig up. Every probe hit the mark. After learning that Serena had replaced her assistant, I immediately tracked down the assistant. Serena had fired. Her mental state at the time was very poor. She must have been subjected to workplace manipulation. For a long time through her, I discovered that an A-list celebrity like Serena was also evading taxes. To make sure my strike was effective, I personally gathered a series of tax evasion evidence against her. I went to the local IRS office to report Serena's tax evasion under my real name and submitted the relevant evidence. As soon as I left the IRS office, I received a phone call from Marcus. Do you really have to go this far? Feeling sorry for her, Marcus sighed helplessly. If you expose it like this so suddenly, do you know how much I'll lose? Why such a hurry? Can't you trust me just one more time? Haven't I waited long enough? He was silent for a long moment. The family is not much inferior to the Hayes family, and they have connections in the political sphere. As long as they pay the back taxes, your actions won't harm her at all. So, it's up to you now. Mr. Marcus, you won't disappoint me again, will you? 2 months later, my university application was approved, and I went to the USA alone. Marcus personally took me to the airport. Luncher in the USA. Remember to call me, he said, hugging me. I'll come find you once I'm done with things here. I nodded. I know. During this time, he hardly had any time to see me. He was busy cutting ties with the Vance family after reporting Serena's tax evasion. I was afraid someone influential in the Vance family would suppress the news so immediately. After I finished making my formal report to the business office, I also exposed Serena's tax evasion news and evidence to the media. Just as the news was about to spread and hit the trending topics, the buzz suddenly died down and disappeared completely. Within moments, I once again felt the power of capital. When I was discouraged, Marcus gave me a hand, and Serena's tax evasion once again surged onto the trending topics. It quickly caught the attention of the relevant departments, and netizens, living up to expectations, began to denounce Serena. In an instant, Serena once again became a pariah. Paying taxes is every citizen's duty, and she was also a well-known public figure. She failed to set an example and instead led the charge in corrupting social morality. After the Vance family learned that Marcus was the mastermind behind it, they immediately turned hostile. As the cornerstone of Marcus Entertainment Company, Serena naturally incurred significant losses. All business collaborations between the two families were terminated. Meanwhile, Luke suddenly came clean with his family, insisting on being with me. Marcus's father was furious with him after failing to persuade him he wanted to send Luke abroad. Luke had truly fallen in love with me. He absolutely refused to leave. During his escape, he was accidentally hit by a car. I had intended to see him one last time, but after learning he had amnesia, I didn't disturb him further. This outcome was quite good for both him and me. I took the suitcase from Marcus's hand and smiled as I told him goodbye. He suddenly pulled me into a tight embrace, unwilling to let go. Wait for me. I didn't reply, just waved at him. After going through security, I looked back at him deeply, bidding him farewell. In my heart turning around, I threw my SIM card into the nearby trash can. After arriving in the USA, I moved through several locations before ultimately changing my route to my final destination, London. I had lied to Marcus. Having him help me get a recommendation letter from Professor had been nothing but a ruse from the start. For the rest of my life, I didn't want any further entanglement with him, so I didn't go to the USA as planned. Instead, I came to London. I wanted to start anew here. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your opinions, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next.